Hello everybody, welcome back to Deefax Football. Today I'm going to be telling you the story of Lads It's Tottenham, Spurs 3, Man United 5. So this game took place in September of 2001. You can see here Tottenham v Man United on a regular Saturday afternoon Premier League fixture list. And neither team was really in great form around this time. Tottenham had started the season with 2 wins out of 7, but you can see some disappointing results there. 0-0 at home to Villa, lost at home to Chelsea, although they did have some tricky fixtures in fairness. They lost to Liverpool in the most recent Premier League game before this one. And Man United, bear in mind heading into this, they'd just won the Premier League 3 seasons in a row. They start the season here with a 3-2 win over Fulham, but then draws at Blackburn and Villa, beat Everton, lose a classic game there against Newcastle 4-3, and then beat Ipswich 4-0. Just a quick look at the table before we get into the actual game itself. Man United are 4th, 3 points off top, but we're only 6 games in, doesn't really matter. Tottenham have played a game more, they're down in 11th. The transfer news around this time was actually quite significant. I mean, you can see Man United signings here. Juan Sebastian Veron, 28.1 million, massive amount of money back in these days. Ruud van Nistelrooy, 19 million, Laurent Blanc, experienced defender, and Roy Carroll there from Wigan. And look at the outgoings. Well, there's only one I'm going to show you here because it's the only one that matters. Jaap Stam departed for 16.5 million to Lazio. Very controversial sale. All 3 of his seasons at Man United, they won the title. So he is a big loss. As for Tottenham, they've also been quite busy in the transfer market, signing Dean Richards there from Southampton for 8.1 million, and he's about to make his debut actually in this game. Christian Ziege there from Liverpool, Gus Poyet, Teddy Sheringham just joined from Man United, well, re-signed because obviously he played for them in the 90s as well. And in terms of outgoings, there it is, you can see it. Sol Campbell has just joined Arsenal, and Ian Walker, in a slightly less dramatic and controversial exit, has just joined Leicester. Later that day, the team news is in, and I'll just highlight these 4 guys. Let's just look at the Tottenham team. Dean Richards at centre-back, just highlighting him because it's his debut, and Sheringham because he's facing the team he just left. As for the visitors, Beckham, I mean, he's just Beckham. That's why I'm highlighting him. He's the main man around this time, one of the most famous people in the world. And Van Nistelrooy, new signing from PSV. Everyone had been waiting for his arrival for a whole year, and he's the man, really, who is tasked with scoring goals. So let's see what happens. Well, the game kicks off, and the man who is tasked with actually stopping Van Nistelrooy from scoring goals gets the first goal himself. Dean Richards, on his debut, heads home the first goal of the game to make it 1-0 to Tottenham. And 10 minutes later, Man United will be wishing they still had Jaap Stam because this defending is absolutely appalling. I wish I could show you it, not just in graphic form, but Les Ferdinand goes through, makes it 2-0. Christian Ziege then makes it 3-0 on the stroke of half-time, and at this point the Spurs fans are cheering every pass. They're actually olaying. So this is embarrassing for Man United, and we get to half-time, and I don't normally do this, but I'm going to skip forward a decade to bring you a story just for a bit of context here. So we are now in 2013 all of a sudden, because that is the power of Deefax. Fergie's half-time team talk. Sir Alex Ferguson has revealed what he told his Man United players when they were 3-0 down against Tottenham. I just looked at them and said, what we're going to do is score the next goal and see where it takes us, Sir Alex told The Telegraph. Teddy Sheringham, the Tottenham captain, came out of the door, looked at me and said to his team, don't let them score early. So with that little bit of context, you know what happens next. Man United score early, in the first minute of the second half in fact, with Andy Cole heading home a Gary Neville cross. 12 minutes later, and Manchester United get another goal back, this time with Laurent Blanc heading home his first goal for the club from a David Beckham corner. 14 minutes later, in the 72nd minute, it's Ruud van Nistelrooy, the new main man up top for Man United, gets the goal to equalise, and he's even got a smile on his face. The first time someone from the visiting team has had a smile on her face all afternoon. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, second half substitute, sets up Juan Sebastian Veron in the 76th minute, and Veron, left-footed, drills the ball into the far corner from just inside the penalty area, and it's 4-3. The comeback is complete. However, there is still time for one more goal, as you well know from this headline. 11 minutes later, David Beckham, right-footed effort into the far corner to get his 5th goal of the season, and it finishes Tottenham Hotspur 3, Manchester United 5. Just confirmation here, 8 goals from 8 different goal scorers, and the post-match reaction comes from none other than David Beckham. David Beckham appeared on ITV's The Premiership after Manchester United's extraordinary win over Tottenham. Obviously we didn't start as well as we should have done, Beckham told presenter Des Lynam. We just felt that we should play the ball up to the front 2 a little bit quicker and get around them. Spurs boss Glenn Hoddle also appeared on the Premiership, and he made no excuses, describing United as a class side. So that victory moved Man United up to 3rd, and you can see 22 goals scored after 7 games is ridiculous, but they have conceded 13, which is shocking at this stage of the season. Tottenham, down in 13th, have also conceded 13, and they're on 8 points still. The reason why this was so huge, obviously just because it's an 8-goal thriller, and to come back from 3-0 down to win 5-3 is ridiculous that it even happened, but it had never been done before in the Premier League era. So you can see here some great comebacks, but none of them were able to come back to win 5-3. Leeds and Wimbledon were the only 2 there who came from 3-0 down to win 4-3, but not 5-3. Now, an interesting twist here is that Tottenham's form after this was fantastic. They beat Derby 3-1, Newcastle 2-0 away from home, Middlesbrough 2-1 at home, and that means this happened. Tottenham manager Glenn Hoddle has been named October's Premier League Manager of the Month. Hoddle led Spurs to 3 league wins out of 3 after a tricky start to the season. Manchester United, on the other hand, take a look at this. Earlier on I highlighted all their victories, now I'm highlighting all the defeats. From the next 8 Premier League games, they lost 5, including home defeats against Bolton, Chelsea 3-0, and West Ham. Unbelievable what happened here. And now look, this is insane. So history would tell you, oh, it's that time Man United, came back to win 5-3 and let's all laugh at Tottenham. But look what happened next. Tottenham actually overtook Man United in the table and went up to 6th place. They also made it to the final of the Worthington Cup, but they unfortunately, at least unfortunate for Spurs fans, they lost 2-1 against Blackburn. Andy Cole, who was just playing in that game a few months earlier, scored the winner for Blackburn. So Man United's form improved a little bit towards the end of the season, but still not great. 77 points they finished on and ended in 3rd place, whereas Tottenham finished 9th on 50 points. Before we wrap this thing up, we need to clarify something. Lads, it's Tottenham is not anything to do with this game. And a lot of people joke about this and say, oh, this is the game where Fergie came in at half-time and said, lads, it's Tottenham. This is not the game. And here is why. October 2014, we have a quote from Roy Keane. Keane reveals Fergie message. Former Manchester United captain Roy Keane has revealed how Sir Alex Ferguson once rallied his side before a fixture against Tottenham. It was Tottenham at home. Key words there, at home, Keane said at a Q&A while promoting his book. He came in and said, lads, it's Tottenham, and that was it. Brilliant. So, this is the thing that everybody talks about, like, oh, that time when Man United came from 3-0 down to beat Tottenham 5-3, and Fergie came in and said, oh, lads, it's Tottenham, and so we went out there and won 5-3. No, that's not true. And I've read other stories that I could have referenced in this, where nobody says that happened in this game. That was something completely different. So I just want to mention that, and that's why I'm glad I made this video, because I've incorrectly thought for years that quote was about this game, but it actually wasn't. And I know that's the name of the video, so before anybody calls me out on it, I know, but it still makes sense in the context. It's still Man United winning at Tottenham. So anyway, that wraps it up. If you enjoyed this video, there's another one about Lee Bowyer and Kieran Dyer and their famous fight from 2005, where there's a lot of clarifications in that one too. So if you want to go check that out, please do so.